Hello everybody, happy holidays. Welcome back to another Projectionist vlog. And today is December 18th, 2019, and we are celebrating the 10th anniversary release of Avatar, which came out 10 years ago, December 18th, 2009. Avatar was the highest grossing movie for about 10 years at like 2 point something billion. I don't know exactly what the number was. But it just got beat recently by Avengers Endgame over the summer. So I'm going to talk about running Avatar, which I only ran on IMAX film, the film IMAX. And it's the first and only James Cameron movie I ever ran, and the first and only I ever ran on film. I don't think I'll run another one of his movies ever again. I'm not sure. Film or digital. Depends on where you work. So, this movie came out right before Christmas, 2009. The hype for this movie was huge. It was James Cameron's comeback to making movies again after his, I think it was a 12-year hiatus since Titanic. He won Best Picture for that. That was another big Hollywood blockbuster, which Avatar surpassed financially. So if you look at the list, I think it's Endgame, Avatar, and Titanic. So James Cameron's made a really good name for himself over the years. And he's made some good movies. Terminator, Terminator 2, and all that. So I'm going to talk about running Avatar on film. And I remember hearing about this movie, seeing set photos. It was all green screen on the set photos and blue screen and all that. And I remember they dropped the first trailer for it, or released the first trailer for it in August of 2009. It played before prints or copies of The Final Destination. I think that was the fourth Final Destination movie. Yeah, the first trailer played before that, because The Final Destination, or aka Final Destination 4, was like at the time when 3D was like getting huge and right before it reached its peak. So that was a 3D movie, and they released the Avatar trailer before that so people can see it in 3D. Avatar is like all about 3D. It's 3D all over the place. It was shot on 3D, shown on 3D. This was the big final push for 3D, which was starting to rise again since 2005, but in terms of digital. But this, as projectionists myself and others say, this Avatar coming out was the final nail in the coffin for our jobs. This was like the final frontier. This was supposed to like change how movies were made and how they were looked at and all that. And here we are 10 years later, and I don't think many people are talking about it. Believe it or not. 3D was big back then. This movie Avatar helped push it, and it lasted for a few more years after that, but then people just kind of got tired. And most movies at that time when 3D was huge were converted into 3D. They weren't filmed in 3D. Avatar was filmed in 3D. So that was like the big gimmick, and it was like, 3D and like this whole CG world. But Avatar like didn't do anything new. Lord of the Rings was like kind of like the first movie to start all that. Polar Express, Lord of the Rings, like the whole CG actors and characters and all that. But this was a big movie, and it opened up right before Christmas, and it I remember the opening weekend was weird though. It was like 50-something million, and I was like, oh man, this movie's not going to be as big as I thought. But because after it opened, you had Christmas week, and Christmas week is like the busiest like season for the film industry, or one of the busiest seasons. People go to the movies all week, Christmas week. That's why you see like 5 to 8 movies coming out, and they're all fighting and competing. But this was the biggest movie at that time. But yeah, even though this was a big push for digital, this movie came out right when film was on its way out. So a majority of theaters had this on 35 millimeter film, IMAX film, and then whatever theaters had like one or two digital projectors, they would show Avatar. So this came out right when film was on its way out, but this was an indicator that a projectionist job, one of the indicators that our jobs were in danger or we were going to lose it and all that. But I actually ran this on IMAX film when it came out. I remember physical film 3D IMAX. It's a lot of work to set up. It's 2 prints running at the same time. The whole movie was 3D. It's not like it was sections. It was from beginning to end, 3D. And I remember we got the prints, or the print, the two prints for Avatar. We got about a week prior, and I had to build it up. Most of it. No, actually, I think I built up both prints, left eye, right eye. And the first night, I had to build up Avatar, and it was overnight. It wasn't like a reasonable time. I had to go in at like 11 p.m. at night and build the whole print, which took like 6 hours, and leave at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, something like that. So I remember just like going into work, and it was late, and I just started building this movie, and I was like, man, I'm building a James Cameron movie in IMAX. This is pretty cool. But it took like hours to assemble. And then the next night I had to build up the right eye, and again, 6 hours and all that. And I'm trying to remember if there were trailers attached to it. I don't think there were. I don't think there were trailers. I think it went right into the movie. The cool thing about this, though, with the IMAX is that because it was such a long movie, and they told us, the platter system, it's like those decks, if you look up a platter system, like film or IMAX, the decks were, like, huge. And the film was, they said to us, was going to come right up to the edge of the platter. So they had to, like, put in these bits in the platter, these like screws, these like bits, and like these new clamps. Like there were these like little pegs, and you have to screw it in on the bottom of the platter. Like it was really annoying to set up. And we were like, okay, And they did all this preparation for Avatar because it was such a long movie, and they said to us, like, get ready, like each theater has to have these pegs installed on the platters, and it has to make sure the film is secure. We get the movie. The movie's shorter than they said it was going to be. And we were like, wait a minute, what? We did all this like extra work setting up pegs and all that. And we had to like reinforce clamps and put extra Velcro just to kind of like, for the tail, around the platter to like secure it better. So IMAX did all this preparation for that. And then the movie came out, and it was big. Yeah, the 3D was great. The movie was whatever. It was okay. Nothing original, but the 3D was really cool. The film 3D is great. You're up in the projection booth, and you got the window right here, and like when the characters are walking through the forest, the tail's like really coming at you. When he's like the Avatar. It's film 3D was great. Digital 3D is not so good. It was always inward. Film 3D was like out. It was coming out at you. But it looked great. But we ran it for about, I don't know, we ran it for about 5-6 weeks, something like that. So it did very well. But here, I actually have, oh wow, I actually have a 35 millimeter trailer for Avatar right here. Look at that. And it's cool about it because, you see that? Avatar scope. 20th Century Fox, because Disney owns Avatar now because of the recent sale. Let's make sure everybody sees that. So if you look at the length of this trailer, it says, I think 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, it's a long trailer. Most trailers aren't that long. But I remember this was the final trailer. This is like the really cool one. If you look it up on YouTube, it says like from director James Cameron, and it lists like all his movies and all that, and it's like big blue letters. It's great trailer. Too bad the movie's like, whatever. But now Disney owns this. Disney owns Avatar, which is crazy. And now they're coming out with like 2, 3, 4, and 5 Avatar movies. That's really nuts. And I remember in like early January of 2010, while this was still playing, I unfortunately slept in late, and I missed the first show of Avatar, where I was running late, like really late, and the managers downstairs like yelled at me, and they were just like, "Oh, what are you doing, Eves? You're IMAX. You're supposed to be IMAX," and but the show came on, and I still held on to my job and still ran film for so many years. But yeah, first and only James Cameron movie was Avatar. But this was the big push for digital, but ironically, it was still, everything was film. Everything was film when it came out. So, but yeah, this is the 10th anniversary of Avatar, and I wonder if it had a real impact on anything. I don't think it did. It's up to you guys to decide, but you guys can talk about that in the comment section. So I want to thank everybody again for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, share, hit that notification bell to get any future videos that I post, and definitely comment and talk about Avatar. Was it as big? Did it have as much of an impact as it did back then? Do we need Avatar sequels? These are good conversations, because I don't think we need Avatar sequels. Maybe one more, probably, but the ride in Disney World is cool, and definitely check it out if you're there. It's the Flight of Passage ride. It's really awesome. So, all right, everybody, I have to get out of here. This is an 80s Die Hard production. All right, if you can see that, and thank you very much for watching, and happy holidays. Later, everybody. Bye.